The program you're going to see is about the making of a movie. Alexander and Ilya Salkind, who made the 3 Superman movies, have gone back to the original comics again to bring you Supergirl. Supergirl is played by a very impressive young actress called Helen Slater, and I play her archenemy, the witch Selina. In this program, you're going to see something of the discipline and hard work that goes into making a film like this. You have to believe it. We have to make you believe it. So come back again to the innocence of childhood and believe that a girl can fly.
The first people to believe that a man could fly were producers Alexander and Ilya Salkind. For 10 years, banners advertising their Superman movies had been trailed through the skies above Cannes. Only this year, they announced a new hero, Supergirl.
When we acquired the rights to the library of Superman, we also acquired at the same time the rights to Supergirl.
It is a simple film for a gigantic audience, hopefully, of all ages.
This is Pinewood, the best-equipped studio outside Hollywood. 17 sound stages set amid rolling English countryside. It is here that the Salkinds chose to make the 3 Superman films. And now it's the home base of Supergirl. But long before the cameras first turned, directors Janos Swark and producers Timothy Burrell and Ilya Salkind were united by the importance of the search to find a Supergirl.
Well, it was vital because obviously she is the film, and as Christopher Reeve was the first film, she makes it work, and the very difficult part was making a choice. Then the only direction was New York, and we had to go there after, and we were lucky enough to find the girl.
The role of the decade, and for the young actress who would play it, the chance of a lifetime. But matching the one to the other would mean finding a new star. The search was on. New York, where thousands of young actors and actresses clamor for every part on offer. It was here that casting director Lynn Stallmaster had auditioned the then little-known Christopher Reeve for the part of Superman. Now, in the search for a Supergirl, one face stood out from the crowd, that of a 19-year-old graduate of the High School for the Performing Arts, Helen Slater. The Salkinds' hunch in picking Christopher Reeve had paid off so handsomely that the responsibility for choosing a Supergirl was an awesome one for director Janos Swark.
Our casting director, Lynn Stallmaster, who's the guy who cast Superman, he started, I think, with 350 girls, and we ended up seeing about 50 in New York, and Helen was it. I mean, she was the first one we saw, as a matter of fact.
I introduced them to the 8 primary candidates. And I decided, which is always the case with me, not to play any games. And I brought Helen in first. I decided to go for the knockout in the first round. And it worked.
I remember it was like the weekend before. The audition was on Tuesday, and that weekend I had bought this red leotard and this skirt and the whole thing. And I remember I got to the audition, at the Mayflower Hotel, and I had never seen myself in a full mirror before. And I had done the Linda Lee part, and then all of a sudden it was time to do the Supergirl scene. So I said, well, give me a second. I went out into the other room. I started changing, and I caught myself in the mirror, and there I was in this leotard and this old Dan-skin skirt, you know, and I was thinking, gee, I look like a jackass. I was saying, there's no way I can go in there now. I mean, there's just no way.
I mean, she came in with her leotard and she borrowed a red cape, and she had her hair up as Linda, and then she went into another room, just took her hair down and her glasses off, and came out with that little cape and stood, and it was amazing. I mean, it was just amazing.
And then we saw about another 30 girls, and we brought her back in, and she was again stronger and, like, better than the others. And then after that, we all said, that's the girl.
Brian, drop us a feed down on the same runner for a pup, will it, please? On the floor. We got a...
Well, you go back to that. You come from there.
So far, everyone was agreed. Helen Slater seemed the natural choice for Supergirl. But a screen test is always more than a formality. Helen was flown to London to test, not only as Supergirl, but also as her earthly alias, Linda Lee.
When you're here and you go back there, instead of standing up and going, turn around first and then stand up. That way it gives them a break.
Linda, I just had to try on your sweater, just to see how it looks. If I don't have something to wear tonight, I'll have to go naked.
From what you told me about Miguel, he wouldn't mind.
Look, everything I have is at the cleaners. Lend me this sweater. I promise I'll take real good care of it.
What a test is much more is to get a general feeling of the person. How she photographs, body motion, how she handles herself. Is there a photogenic quality? Is there something that the camera likes? Is it a person that the camera likes, or is it a person who likes the camera?
Miguel could fix you up. He's got a friend from Albuquerque who drives a Kawasaki.
Aren't you afraid of those things?
Well, they're okay. As long as you don't go too fast.
And so are boys. You know, at that time of the audition, I didn't know that Linda Lee was Supergirl. Nobody told me. Can you imagine? I had no idea. I had to guess. You see, I imagined when I was doing the audition that Linda Lee, that she wanted to be Supergirl, that she felt, that she believed every human being had a Supergirl inside of them, but that she wasn't Supergirl. I didn't find out about that till the 4th audition, till the final audition. Can you imagine?
Physically, it is not at all the prototype of the superhero the way Superman is. Superman was the Man of Steel, and he's big, he's got muscles, etc. She has superpowers, the same. She has X-ray vision, heat vision, she can fly, she has all those things. But where Superman is power and strength, she's more like style and elegance. All right, quiet, please. And you give her a clean entrance, right, Mike? I won't be here. You are, and action, guys. Helen! We were very blunt about what this entailed. And some girls got discouraged. I mean, we were very blunt about the amount of training, the amount of work, that it was a commitment of an enormous amount of time, that she would have to live really, I mean, totally as Supergirl. Even when she's not shooting, she'd have to practice the flying, do trampoline work, and get in shape, and do so many things. And this test was also a way for us, particularly for me, to see how such a young person reacts when suddenly you're in the middle of a bunch of strangers, a crew, it's noisy, people are around you, you got to concentrate despite that, whether she'll get flustered. And so far, I must say, her poise has been absolutely amazing for someone that age.
So far, so good. But is poise enough to win this 19-year-old actress the role of the year?
Hello, Helen.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
I wanted to say goodbye before you left.
Okay,
Have a safe trip.
I will.
Yes.
There's a nice little news. Seems you have the part.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's why we're filming? Oh my God. Oh my God, all right.
So what do we do? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Deserves a
Thank
big
you
kiss.
very much. Thank
At least now you'll have a wonderful Christmas. Cut. Perfect.
Good.
Brent, we got this one.
I think Helen overall handled the pressure and the weight. It's her first picture. She had never been outside the United States. She had never lived outside of home. She had never been in front of a camera. And suddenly she has this huge thing on her shoulders. I think overall she's handled the whole picture extraordinarily well. I think she's going to be really the revelation of the film.
Okay.
How long does it take you to get out and in?
4 minutes, say 9 minutes tops.
All right, go and take it off.
Okay.
Okay, Alan. Now, wait a minute. Let me show you what you're going to do first. Helen, let me show you what you're going to do first. Look, you land exactly the way you did, right? And now you slowly walk, you look around. Oh, it's so lovely and so on. Walking. When you get about you can go a little bit faster once you've taken the first 3 steps. When you get about here, about the middle of the street, you turn to look at the whole street. And then at one point you will feel the headlights from the truck coming from your right. And then just turn and face the truck, and that'll be the cut.
Now this I like.
Hello.
Hello, she says.
Well, hello to you, honey bun.
Hello. I was wondering if you could tell me where I am.
What do they call this place, Eddie? Lover's Lane, isn't it?
You got it in one, Billy boy. Lover's Lane.
Cut.
That's a very important scene in the film because first is the first time that Supergirl really sort of lands in this small town. But it's also because she comes from a very utopian environment. She comes from a civilization with a very high consciousness. There's no crime, there's no violence. And suddenly she's confronted by those 2 bullies who see this young, pretty girl. And she has these powers. And I think it's the first time where she suddenly, realizes that she can't parade around dressed like Supergirl. And also it's the first time where suddenly she's confronted with raw violence. And you can see how she changes from being a very sort of idealistic young girl to suddenly realizing that the place where her cousin lives, Superman, is not as civilized as her hometown.
Why are you doing this?
It's just the way we are.
Oh, she works out, huh?
Looking the part was not enough. The task of building up Helen's stamina and fitness fell to the man who had helped Christopher Reeve fill out Superman's mantle, stuntman Alf Joint.
If you want to, as people say, move well, in order to move well, you have to do or be good at physical things, gymnastics, riding. She rode, she even did a little bit of fencing. Anything that gives you style and movement, she did it.
And it was great. I mean, I enjoyed building up, and I enjoyed watching me gain the weight. You know, it was great to get on the scale. It was like...
Luckily for Helen Slater, her training had gone some way towards preparing her for the rigors of filming.
It's a wonderful idea, but I mean...
It's all going to be done out.
But the extraordinary demands of a production such as Supergirl are so singular that no preparation could be complete. Often before daybreak, she would be required at the studio to start makeup for her character, or characters.
Hello to you. Hello. I hope you're fine.
Because in addition to Linda Lee, Supergirl has a third identity, that of Kara, the name with which she was born in Argo City, to parents played by Mia Farrow and Simon Ward.
Okay.
only.
Well, at the beginning of the story, we are all fugitives from Krypton and are living on this planet in inner space, Argo City, which has been designed by Zaltar, who's played by Peter O'Toole. But unfortunately, we lose our power source, which means that we will all age and die, and the whole machinery of the city will come to a grinding halt. And that's really the springboard for the story, because Kara goes off to retrieve it through inner space and through all these binary curves and chutes and time warps, and eventually brings it back.
Peter and Mia come to this side like this. Then Simon, you arrive this way. Once Simon is here, Peter, and you know things are under control, you go for the wand. Meanwhile, you take it.
With this wretch.
Well, first you try to pull her out, but you know, it's tough because there's gonna be lots of wind.
B camera.
Got the wind.
You took the Omega Hedron.
That's incorrect. I lost the Omega Hedron.
No, I did. I was the one who...
No matter who. This is our universe, and you've destroyed it with a game, a childish game.
I think that through the binary chute, I can do it in my Traveler. I can make a wobble. It's the next thinking about it.
Sorry, I thought
It was so good.
It is sometimes difficult to remember the words. The words, if the words are made up words, it is very difficult to recall them because there seems to be no immediate logic behind them, and when the word actually springs to your mouth, you do think that this can't be right.
Mind you, one gets into the strange words of Omega Hedrons and quantum vortexes and things. The only way I can never remember them is to think of them as flowers, rhododendron or whatever.
Ah, that's a good position for you, right there. Not more forward than this, and don't move too much. Act for a change. Turn your head a little bit to the left. Cheat your... Ah, you see a little bit more like that. Cheat your look a little bit on the edge. Look, please, on this I need... If you move, you're gonna ruin the shot if you move too much. Once it's... You can do that little thing at the beginning. Once it starts, just right where you are, you'll look about here, and it's just, where am I going?
I know where I'm going. I'm going to chase the Omega Hedron.
Yeah, but it's the unknown, the unknown.
All right, it's the unknown, for God's sake.
Excuse me. I could tell you weren't being natural because you knew this thing was going on. That's why. You know, she opens the fridge at night, the little light comes on, she does 10 minutes. Good girl. Derek, we're gonna do it again. I think there should be more agitation here. They should move more and... Well, he cleared by about a quarter of an inch.
Kara leaves Argo City in search of the Omega Hedron. which has fallen to earth and into the hands of Selina, the witch played by Faye Dunaway.
The character of Selina really is an ex-fortune teller, somewhat innocent, somewhat naive, in that she only wants to rule the world. And she thinks that the way to do it is through magic. And as much as she can learn about magic and how to get things magically, not through hard work, by the way, but magically. And she begins by being under the sort of guidance of Peter Cook, who plays Nigel.
The character of Nigel, well, he's a school teacher and a warlock. He's a male witch. Well, that's his real goal in life, is witchcraft, but he ekes out a living as a school teacher in Midvale, in the heart of the US of A.
You've just heard on the radio that Superman is on a diplomatic trip on another galaxy or whatever.
Yes.
So it's like, Superman? And then you can shake your hand now. You can take it.
Yeah.
You just see a yellow, red, and blue blur.
Right.
That's all.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
I need a little eyeliner up there. I don't know who can do it. Well, that's the directorial discussion. I mean, that's the most in-depth we've gone so far. It is not stretching me enormously. I have to stand upright, walk about and say some lines, and be fairly sarcastic and vaguely unpleasant and ambitious and beady-eyed and nasty. So I thought, well, you know, don't have to act, just be myself.
Holy
Now, I don't want to see the Omega Hedron in this.
I'll explain to her.
Freddie, now you just give Faye Allen a position for looks and what's the best for you and so on. Do it for me, honey, okay? Your first reaction.
I think Faye knows where to look, you see.
Your
Not
first,
as much as...
no, not cheated. Your first big reaction is when the radio comes on. I need a look over there, like says, I got the keys, and then let me see your expression, the mischief. You know, you get the idea, and boom, you started.
We've all, at one time or another, know something about astrology and that sort of thing, and tarot cards and all of that. And I didn't go too deeply into that, because it's more the notion of it than the reality of, magic.
Well, Derek on the plan.
You want the fan out, love? A bit more?
No, it's okay.
Here we go, shooting. Quiet, please. Shh.
Wonder. Immortality be upon this one. She is a sharer of the sun's everlasting life. There will now be no danger of death. This world will keep her forever. Rise up.
That was great. Now, I think, Faye, you can wait or react a little bit more to it started. You're looking at it. It's your energy that makes it start. And then you sort of get the connection. You feel something inside.
It's able to work magic, except she just doesn't understand anything about it. So she has to try to figure out how it works. And there, as you can imagine, lots of funny things that happen in the course of trying to make this sort of round ball of power work for her. Finally, she succeeds, and she's able to really make magic. Rise up.
What is it? What is
Sun,
it?
the wind, the rain are all with me.
Godfrey? Check that window before we go, love. That's what you're gonna get.
The Supergirl unit traveled to Scotland for some of the location filming. These are the scenes of Supergirl's adventures on Earth when, disguised as Linda Lee, she wins the love of Ethan, played by Hart Bachner. But Ethan still doesn't realize that Linda and Supergirl are one and the same person.
okay. Right, stand by, please. Here we go.
Welcome.
Speed. 611, take one. AMB cameras.
Okay, quiet, please, and action.
I told you, Linda can take care of herself.
You just flew over my head, didn't you?
I'll
I
go
saw
back
you
there and
do
I'll
that.
take care of everything, so don't worry about
I said
it.
you just flew over my head. True or false?
True.
Like Superman.
He's my cousin.
He's your cousin?
Yes. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this. I'm supposed to be here undercover.
Wait a minute, wait 1 minute. I mean, you can do the whole number, leap tall buildings in a single bound, look right through things?
Yes.
You bend steel bars?
Yes.
Whoa!
I have to go. Selena has the Omega
Oh,
head for
please,
her.
I have to find Linda.
Cut. That was very good.
Okay, camera.
Friend, let's go another one. Helen, I think you can even have a little bit more fun. Make it a little bit more lighter.
Give it that. Okay.
It's first love. I mean, their whole relationship is about first love in a way. You know, and she all of a sudden loses all her superpowers in a way. I mean, she's like a 3-year-old sort of thing. You know, she doesn't know what's hit her. She sort of just wants to, you know, touch and tread softly, and she doesn't know how to. And then he starts acting like a stubborn guy, saying he has to go back and save Linda's life. And she's Linda, but you can't tell him that she's Linda, and she just wants him to sit down and be quiet so maybe they can just, you know, do nice things. It's just all puppy love.
How can you love her? You don't even know her.
Oh, yeah, I do. If she's in trouble, then I got no business standing here talking with you. Even if you are what you say you are.
Linda is not in trouble.
Look, don't make me get rough, okay?
You wouldn't stand a chance. Please trust me. Linda is all right.
How do you know?
I just know.
Well, you should do one where this should be clowning. All of this should be clowning around.
All right, so when she comes down the
Yeah,
tower chapel.
this should be having fun and clowning around, and maybe if we do another one, do one where you land just on one foot.
Hold the weight, put it down. And now travel back. This way, lad. Steady now. What are you doing to those feet?
Look at me, Helen. When you do the Charles Chaplin, do this as if you were slowing yourself down.
All right.
So then you guys can slow the descent, okay?
A lot of the flying, a lot of the aerial ballet is with the arms more than anything. It's very complicated, the way they do fly her. The actual technique they use in the making of the film is very restricting. And the one part of the body that you can use the most are the arms and the head.
Please. Action.
Zoltar.
Squirt.
No. The person who has the power source, Zoltar, she sent me here. And I have to go.
Stay here forever, too. She sounds formidable, someone to be...
I'm sorry, we had a little... When you work with an actor of the stature of Peter O'Toole, what's wonderful is that in terms of language and communication, because you got to change communications with every actor. You got to find a new language for every actor. it's very easy because he knows so much already that sometimes you'll just indicate one thing and you only have to say, I mean, I never had to even finish a thought. He already understood before I was through with the sentence.
What is this?
A horse, I think. On Earth, I think they call it a horse.
And you made it here. You made this here. Then you haven't given up.
Don't be ridiculous.
Earth's all to Earth. A tree, a horse. You keep making things from Earth.
The place intrigues me.
Then let's go there.
Certainly. When is the next train?
Cut.
You got
It's getting much better. You see it's beautiful, and then you look at him and you see, so you haven't given up. And now go on him, but you don't have to pounce him.
Don't pounce.
A little bit, it lacks subtlety. You got a little
It's just
bit.
that if we started off so urgent, that's the thing.
No, but except the beginning, once you get a natural break when you see the horse. And then the reason I'm saying that is because if you go too high, you'll never be able to get back to the child. Just a little bit more subtle and natural, and that's it. All right, dress rehearsal, and then we'll shoot.
Is this train a way out of here?
There is no way out of here. That is the point of the Phantom Zone. My neighbors know, the criminals, the corrupt, the evil, they're here, over the hill there, with no way out.
But there's always a way out. If there's a way in, there's a way out.
Zoltar has exiled himself to the Phantom Zone, a desolate place reputed to be inescapable. But that in itself presents an irresistible challenge for Supergirl, and more than a few headaches for the filmmakers.
Now, go up as high as you can, Colin.
Okay, guys, give me the wind and the dust. The problem we had is that Peter O'Toole and Helen Slater, they walk out of this little house and they're in the middle of this wind, and we had a lot of particles in the air flying, and both of them got their eyes filled with particles, and they couldn't see where they were walking. And half of the floor was pools with this green drip, which was made out of toothpaste. But Peter, I think it was his experience in Lawrence of Arabia. He was used to the desert, so he just used one hand to block his face. Peter, you come out of the hole on action. You see there's a little bridge here. So you cross on the little bridge, okay? And then you go like this. And you exit towards the ladder. Camera left. That's perfect. And just coming towards me. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
The scene in the Phantom Zone where Peter O'Toole and I are walking through the Phantom Zone, there's all that smoke and wind and the vortex that's all blowing. I mean, it was, I was blinded. You couldn't see anything.
Okay, here we go.
You know, everyone else was wearing masks. Everyone on the set were wearing these masks because there was all this dust flying around. And, you know, except for us. And there we were inhaling this terrible kind of sawdust material.
Brent! Great. El Prento, well done, everybody. Thank you. Are you all right?
Oh, yeah.
It looks fabulous.
A typical small American town. Only it isn't. The decision to film in England meant that production designer Richard MacDonald and art director Terry Ackland Snow had to design and build a town from scratch. It took them months to transform a desolate backlot into the film's most expensive single set.
This is a sequence where the witch, who was played by Faye Dunaway, fancies this young man and he gets away from her. She's giving him a love potion, and to get him back, she animates. She makes this bulldozer come to life, and the bulldozer keeps on chasing him, and in the process creates a lot of chaos and pandemonium. Well, I got a lot of great stuff today. That's all I can tell you guys.
You going again on this tonight?
Yeah, I'm going again because I got one shot wasn't good. Two of the four were not good. I'm super cautious about stunts. I always get a little bit nervous. There's always an area of unpredictability. But I make sure we rehearse a lot and we plan a lot. We have a lot of storyboards, so there's a lot of communication. I'm very conservative when it comes to safety. There's a lot of actors who are very, very keen to do it. For instance, Hart was very keen to do, well, that was all right because nothing was, I'm trying to watch with one eye. Go, 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 go! Nothing was really, everything was really... We're shooting, by the way, Jono. Godfrey.
You got a superb ear, Governor.
Great. Really? Did you see that the tire stopped?
Yes, I did, I'm afraid.
All right, I'm going to have to do a bridge on that. Freddie!
That was scary, the tractor stuff. That was... Scary isn't the right word. That was petrifying. I had gotten to that point where I thought, well, look, if I fall off and die now, it's been great. And I mean, I have to go up there, and this is part of my job.
So, Chunky, I tell you, go with it a certain way, and then stop and let him exit.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this one, it would help me reach for the split here. You can do that. Helen.
Yes, darling.
Reach.
Reach.
You know, for when you're going to split it.
For when I'm gonna, for when I'm gonna lift Ethan out of the thing.
I wonder whether you shouldn't reach like this.
You mean when I'm ripping it off?
Yeah.
If I was gonna rip something off, it would definitely be like a...
All right, let's do it again. No print on this last one.
Selena's partner in crime is Bianca, played by Brenda Vaccaro.
It's a friendship, you know, except I'm sort of the kind of witch eventually when she gets the power and she becomes more evil and more evil, I say, you're not going to do that, are you? You'll never get away with this, you know, so that's sort of a person who has a conscience.
Well, Brenda and I, you know, were sort of like a double act, really. And we found that we were reacting very well to each other, and the chemistry between us was interesting, and looks and all sorts of things would happen unplanned. The spontaneity developed there, which I think was very important to the story and to the film. Next time, remind me to do this outside.
That looked great, the change.
Ian?
Now, Jonah, how was that for you, sir? Don't block your face, okay? A little bit higher, you're all right.
See, I mean, I think I should never touch
Yeah,
that.
I get some more focus. Do that.
Where are you going to be?
Just about there. That's perfect.
Special effects play an important role in a film like Supergirl, but they're not all added after shooting. Many of them are created as the scene is shot.
I'm straightening up, and I go, cut. That's it.
Is that bad to look out of frame?
But it should be very fast because, see, the center of interest is this. It should be one of those, like, you become aware, boom, and then suddenly back at her.
Okay, but this is the thing. Didn't I look around before the lights or the wind died? One of those two?
When I told you, and I said it when the light.
No, I think I took that on my own, and I think it was early. This is the room that I confront Supergirl finally. Well, I thought I had banished her completely and got rid of her by magical powers, and she doesn't quit. She comes back. And there are enormous confrontations, and all magic breaks loose in here, and she fights the magic, and we'll see what happens. I won't tell you.
Slide it down, just hold it here. And then you can do this and use it like your hand. And twist. And stretch. And you don't have to go that far. And you can always shake it a little bit.
He's observing it, and you're doing it. So sometimes you may be overdoing it, or you may not have made use of something that you could have made use of. It's this wonderful thing of a relationship. It's how people work together, and it's been a particularly happy experience on this film.
While Superman is a little bit closer to science fiction, I think Supergirl is much closer to fairy tale or fantasy. And also, because it's a young girl and a teenager, I wanted a style that was a little bit more lyrical and had a little bit more vulnerability. Superman is power and strength, and Supergirl I always saw as having more elegance, grace, and style.
I think, incidentally, that Helen's appearance in Supergirl is a very positive step in the direction of establishing a heroine rather than a hero.
The feminine attributes are really very real. Nourishment and power and strength and caring for other people and saving other people. And I think that, it's right that there should be a Supergirl.
Put me down. Where's my Linda?
Take it easy.
Now you open the coconut. Yeah, do it so I can see it. Could you see it there?
Yes, I can see it there, but if she lifts it up and breaks it there. Yes, that's fine.
You don't come forward on this. It's all Linda, Linda, and then when she bends down to kiss you, I say cut.
Okay.
And then I'll say, when I say heart, you say Linda. And when I say now, you put the coconut down, and very slowly, as if attracted by some unknown magnet, you start to bend over, and I'll say cut before you touch his disgusting lips.
Very quiet everywhere, please. Roll cameras.
Cut.
I think
Brent,
that will.
let's do another one.
It's got to be farther back.
I know, I couldn't know.
Brent, let's go right away before we get the rain.
The rigors of filming are over now for Helen Slater, the perils and the pleasures behind her. Was she right to have gambled her career on this one-star part?
If Helen had said, do you think I should do this? I don't know. I would have said, of course you should do it.
It's all very well to sit at home and say, I'm not sure whether this is quite right. Maybe I don't think my image is quite this, is it? But to be in a big, big picture, and a big, big successful picture, which I'm sure this one's going to be, then you can't get a better rocket blast to the moon than that.
And she's learning how to make a very difficult film, and she's doing it very well. She'll never have any trouble, Helen. She's gonna be fine.
For she has one thing that I don't have, very few of us have, and that is that she's 19. And that will carry a lot of people through. And she also is, yes. Yes, she has stamina. It's written all over.
Her life is going to change radically. She is not only going through a long, difficult, but exciting experience in making the film, but when the film is released, her privacy suddenly will be non-existent, because the moment she walks out her door, everybody will know her. Whether they immediately say there's Helen Slater, they will say there's Supergirl.